So if you've got an issue, I've got a tapping script for that. Hey everyone, so glad you're here. We're going to be doing a little bit of discussion and tapping on how to let go of criticizing and judging ourselves and why this is so important to do this. So here's the thing. If you are critical of yourself and you judge yourself, what's going to happen is that you will also judge or be judgmental and critical of others. And that's why it is always so important to go back to your relationship with yourself and look at how do you treat yourself and how do you think and what do you tell yourself? What is going on up here? Because whatever we are putting, allowing to stay in our mind and what we're feeding in our thoughts is going to come out in our external world, in our lives, in our relationships. So I think many times the reason why we criticize ourselves and judge ourselves comes from this place of feeling like we are not enough and feeling or coming from this place of fear. Fear is an incredible motivator, but it's often used when it's not warranted. So good to be afraid when a bear is chasing you, but so often we have a lot of fear that sneaks into all these corners of our lives that keeps us staying small, keeps us stuck, keeps us feeling bad about ourselves when there's no reason why we should be feeling bad about ourselves. Fear can hold us down and immobilize us. And we got to clear that out. So getting back to the criticism, sometimes we criticize because it makes us feel better. We criticize someone and we point out their messy life and their mistake or the way they look or the way they acted or how they handled a situation and how we would have done better or how we already are doing better because it makes us feel good. And what it's really doing is it is serving as a cover-up for our own insecurity. Another thing we can do sometimes is criticize ourselves or others. Let's say we get a great idea that we want to put into action or something we want to try or a change we want to make. And very quickly we may go into why it won't work, why it couldn't work, what might go wrong, what if this. We go into the ifs or the might or this place of looking for where it's going to fail. And then we definitely can so easily go back into, well, never mind. Well, maybe I shouldn't bother. Well, why should I even start? It's better to stay safe. It's better to be in my comfort zone than to actually go for it and maybe not look good in the process or make a mistake. So fear and looking for what's wrong do not serve us. They keep us still, standing in the same place, our lives staying the same when we want things to shift. So we've got to clear that out. What is the antidote to all of this? The antidote is to shift your perspective. What you focus on expands. I say this a lot in my videos. It's something I remind myself of if I start to get in kind of a negative groove. What you focus on expands. Where energy flows, where attention goes. That's basically the gist. So if we're going to focus on what's wrong with us, what's wrong with others, where something's not going to work, where we screwed up because we weren't perfect, we weren't good enough, we didn't meet our high standard, then what's going to happen is we're just going to feel worse. Instead of feeling good and acting good and shining our light, we're going to stay in this place of feeling down, feeling depressed, feeling just self-critical. And we gotta not go there. Don't feed that. Instead, feed what you do want to have happen. Take the pressure off of yourself, please. And I know what I'm talking about here because I have the tendency to be really hard on myself too. And it's something I have to watch. Instead of don't beat yourself up, let it go, move on. Being perfect would be kind of boring. It really would. In addition to focusing on more of what we want to have happen and forgiveness and acceptance of ourselves, the other thing we can do is to bring our awareness and focus to appreciation of ourselves and appreciation of what we love about others. So make that your focus as opposed to what's wrong, what's not right. And I know it can be so easy, especially if you strive for perfection and you work really, really hard. It can be so easy to get kind of stuck on that. So let's get into a short tapping script. We'll keep this short and let's see if we can kind of shift and clear some of this out and raise our energy a little bit. Okay, tapping on the side of the hand. Even though I have the tendency to be critical, I choose to love myself. Even though I have the tendency to look for what's wrong, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. I know I can be critical of myself. And I can be critical of others too. They go hand in hand. How I treat myself, I treat others in kind. Oftentimes I'm really hard on myself. I can be pretty punitive sometimes. I expect so much out of myself. And this can make things pretty tough. When I don't meet my own standards, I feel really bad. A part of me thinks criticism will actually make me try harder. I'll get my act together if I criticize myself. I'll get more of the result that I want if I'm hard on myself. But I know that that's really not true. So why do I keep doing it? This is just old programming. This is what I've been doing to myself for years. And I choose to stop criticizing myself. It's not giving me the result I want. Instead, I can be kinder and gentler to myself. I can give myself the permission to be imperfect. That doesn't mean I'm getting soft. That doesn't mean I'm slacking off. It simply means I'm changing how I relate to myself and that I'm being loving to myself. And being loving to myself feels so much better. It makes me feel happier. I feel lighter. And I enjoy and appreciate myself so much more. And when I feel that, I appreciate and love others as well. And I can keep giving myself this permission. The permission to not be perfect. And the permission to be kind. I love and accept myself. It is okay to do that. This will allow my light to shine. And I am so excited to move forward in this way. Okay, there it is. Just a short tapping script on letting go of the criticism, accept and love yourself. Because you know what? None of us are here because we have all the answers. We're all works in progress. We're all figuring it out. I am too. And that's why I share my journey with you all. Thank you so much for joining me. Love having you along. If you have any questions or comments, leave it for me below the video. Thanks everyone. I'll see you soon.